I'm going to give you a little fast background, maybe 10 minutes, if that's okay with you. I lived in a children's home from age 12 to 18 after my father died. And my mother had to work, and we lived in a difficult neighborhood. And the way I kind of started a career was I used to play with the assistant director's son. I was older, and he said to me one day, "Boy, Abe, you're real good with my son, and the Jewish Community Center is opening a new summer camp for kids. I think you'd be great there. Why don't you try to get a summer job?" Now, I was probably 17 years old. And so I applied and they hired me, and boy, did I love it. Loved working with kids, leading, singing, doing all of that stuff. It was a natural for me. Then I started working in that community center, just in the basket room and so on. To make a long story short, I had a 17-year career there. And during that 17 years, I got a bachelor's in psychology and a master's degree in social group work. They used to do MSWs in social group work, clinical work, and community organization. And so at the community center, I eventually became the number two man. I supervised all the full-time staff who supervised varieties of groups, summer camps, children's programs, art programs, and so on. And had a very nice career. And in the evening, I had a wife and two kids, three kids actually by that time. I wasn't making enough money. I wanted to save money for my kids' education. So I got an evening job doing group therapy with parolees from the state prison and mental patients from the state hospital. And this is after I had my master's degree. So 2 nights a week, I would go do group therapy and meet with a psychiatrist and talk about my group. And I did that for 10 years. In 1970, I decided I'm going to leave the center because to become a director, I had to move from Denver, and I was divorced and I wasn't going to leave my children. That wasn't a possibility. So I decided to start a clinic with a psychiatrist. It was my idea. I talked about a clinic where you did psychotherapy, where you did group therapy, remedial reading, and so on and so forth. And the idea I got is I started to do some public speaking to promote people to come to the clinic. And I would go do things mostly at Catholic organizations because the psychiatrist was Catholic and well known. And so I would speak on transactional analysis because I started training in that in about 1970. I trained with John Weiss and Lori Weiss and then all kinds of people. And I became a clinical TA person, passed all of the exams. And then I got interested in doing this in organizations. So anyway, I was doing this presentation and a guy came up and said, "What do you charge?" Well, I was doing it free because it was bringing people to our clinic. And we were getting a lot of people and needed to hire people because they liked what they heard. And so I was doing this, and he said to me, "What do you charge?" Well, this is 1971, 72, and I had started charging $200 a day. He said we pay $500 a day. Now, I want all of you to know that I'm flexible, so I agreed to the $500. That's a joke. Are they laughing? Not laughing? Okay. You're still hearing me all right, right?
We do laugh, we just mute it.
Okay. I like to hear the laughs. Anyway, so they picked me up in a Learjet. They took me to a fancy place. And there I met the guy that had hired me, 6'4". And the man introduced me to him. And this is a true story. His name was Charlie Kaman. And I said, "Charlie, to tell you the truth, with the way I'm being treated, I'm much too important to talk to you." And he laughed and I laughed for 10 minutes and became great friends. Then he was doing a presentation to an international organization called Young Presidents Organization. It's in most countries in the world. These are made up of very wealthy men and women, I presume women now. And they would meet like once a month, and then they'd have a national, international meeting. So I got invited to Vienna, Austria, to be a speaker there with many speakers, including Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man in Search of Meaning, Wayne Dyer, Your Erroneous Zones, Ken Blanchard, The 1 Minute Manager, he hadn't written it yet, and Who Stole My Cheese, a lot of famous people. And I didn't know anybody, so I was one of 5 speakers. And the first speaker, and I was the speaker in my audience of 30 people, was Dr. Ken Blanchard. I didn't know who he was. In those days, he was famous for situational leadership. Do any of you know situational leadership? Hello?
I became, maybe you know this, you know all those
Yes,
things.
yes,
Okay.
I'm familiar with that.
Anna, you do?
Yeah.
Yes, because of organizational context.
So he came up to me afterwards. He says, "Boy, I love the way you teach." And I was teaching transactional analysis. So that afternoon, I found out who he was. I went to hear him speak, 300 people listening to him. And here's his first sentence. You can imagine how I felt. I hadn't even written a book. He said, "I've been having such a great time this morning. I heard a terrific speaker. His name is Abe Wagner." And chills went up and down my spine. The next day, I had 300 people in my session. Then that organization invited us the following year to Sydney, Australia. And I was a speaker then. I got invited to Athens, but they had a coup, so the government had a coup, so they didn't do it. But anyway, that started me. And I wrote a book, and Blanchard sent it to Prentice Hall, who sent it to the head of a business group in Pepperdine University. They liked the book. So I all of a sudden became a published manager. Can you believe this? All of this happened when I started my career, about the first year of the career. That was just unbelievable luck, being in the right place in the right time.
What was the book? It was Transactional Manager?
Was a transactional manager, and a couple years later I wrote Say It Straight or You'll Show It Crooked. And I liked that because I simplified it and did some things like I called ego states red and blue ego states and so on. So I wrote 2 books. I don't see myself as a big writer, but I had people edit, and that helped. So that's how I started that way. Then I started the first big job I got. Somebody sent me a message from the Philippines. He wrote and read my book. Would I be interested? So I went to the Philippines and did a seminar. And I said, "Are there other organizations like yours?" So he gave me a list of them. I wrote the one in Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan. And all 3 of them were interested. So I did the first one in Singapore. And luckily for me, I was doing a 3-day seminar or a 2-day, I don't remember now. There was members of their military. So I got hired to train their heads of their military
Oh, wow. Where was that?
in Singapore. And I
Oh,
went to Singapore probably 50 times over the years, 50 times. I trained their radio and television people, their police department, their civil servants. And it was just a wonderful career with them. And then in China and Japan, I probably went to Japan 10 or 15 times, training in an organization that liked a lot of things, including TA. So I kept getting invited back. And I worked for the Industrial Society in England, very famous part of their group. People in corporations belong to that. So I probably did that about 6 or 8 times, and worked in Canada maybe 30 times, and all 50 states in the United States. So I worked in 36 countries and 50 states. My big point is people like transactional analysis. They liked the way I taught it and what I taught. So what ended up happening is I would get jobs all over the world and had a wonderful time, saw the world that I would never see if it were under me paying my own way. I would never have gone to 36 countries, nor could I have afforded it. So that's my background. And it's been a wonderful career. And what I want to say to all of you is TA is so good. And I combine it with neurolinguistics, which I like a lot, neurolinguistic programming. But neurolinguistics is probably 5 or 10% of what I teach when I do seminars. Most of it is almost all of it's transactional analysis, my style of transactional analysis. I was very interested in making it understandable to the average person walking the street, to a doctor, to a lawyer, to a mother with her kids. It's so applicable that you can teach it. It's great in clinical work, as many of you know. So that's my background.
Thank you, Abe. And I think it's
You're welcome.
really that just first when I met you, it was a few years ago in the membership meeting, and what caught me it was your sense of humor. And now sometimes when I'm too serious, when I'm as a speaker, I always remember about you. Like it's true. It's like you're always in my mind. Okay, Vika, just relax, joke. Be as a child as well. So thank you for that. IBK, you have a question.
Like often when I start with humor. And I often say, I've been around since the Dead Sea was only sick. It's a big laugh from people all over the world.
Yeah.
If you know what the Dead Sea is.
They were sick.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I have the same comment. I have a privilege of seeing Abe online for the second time, and I think what really stayed with me, as Victoria was saying, the way you said that you interact on a level of child to child using a sense of humor, and I think it's very important. And especially if you are in organizational psychology or you're doing your trainings and workshops, and even like on a daily basis, if you see some people, if you laugh with them, if you smile, then you connect child to child, and then their child, your child feels safe, and then you can go to deeper conversations or perhaps like logistics or whatever. But I think like what you taught us, that talking child to child using sense of humor, it's the icebreaker, and I follow that as well. Thank you so much.
Great. I can't see who was talking. Who was saying that?
It's Ibike. You cannot see me?
No, I don't see you.
No.
Sorry.
And
Can you
Vicky,
see me
when you
now?
talk, your picture is disappeared.
Okay, sorry. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to put the mic.
Okay. I can see you. And Tatiana is very dark in the room. Can you make it light? Because it's hard to see your
Yeah,
face.
because it's already almost 1 p.m. Not almost 1. It's
Okay.
0.
Where are you,
1
Tatiana?
a.m.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Where are you?
From Germany.
One more time.
Germany right now. I'm in Germany.
Okay. Anybody else want to start and tell us about you?
I really like your joke about Dead Sea, and because I think it's a very good checkpoint for people who knows or don't know geography. Like if you know where is the Dead Sea, so you have been to Europe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if everybody knows that where is the Dead Sea.
Sometimes my jokes have gotten me into trouble, to be honest with you, so I have to be careful. Especially like I was with an older group.
You don't have to be careful. You just have to talk to normal people.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's
So,
true.
so I was going to tell you one of the things I said one day.
Just the back.
By the way, I probably know 100 jokes. But I was with a group of elderly people, and I said, I'm glad I'm not with teenagers. About 2 months ago, I was in a restaurant, and I was looking at a boy that had red, blue, and green hair. And I'm staring at him, and he's staring at me. And finally, he comes up to me and he says, "What's the matter, old man? Didn't you ever do anything on the wild side?" And I said, "Well, to tell you the truth, 15 or 16 years ago, I got drunk one night and I got a little too close to what is the big bird that's very colorful?
Peacock.
Yeah, I got too close to a peacock, and I was thinking maybe you were my son." That joke got me into trouble. I think it's very funny. Okay. Anyway, who's next? Tell me about you.
I can then start because I was commenting. So my name is Aibike Piard. I live in Chicago. I have two beautiful girls, amazing husband. I worked in corporations. I was managing 7 countries at some point for business management. I consulted United Nations in Europe and Central Asia, and my love to TA or Eric Berne started when I was 17. I read his book and I had an asthma, and I understood what I was doing, that I wasn't breathing fully because I wasn't aware of that. And I kind of healed my own asthma. So I was always interested in psychology, but I went to a business school. I graduated from Geneva. And when I met Victoria and your association, I felt like I did 360 degrees and came back to my interest when I was 17. And I took TAP, and right now I'm writing a book using your book, Abe. So for organizational psychology. So I'm very proud to be part of this group, and I'm looking forward to meet all of you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. What is it you're doing for work now beside writing a book?
Right now, I have nonprofit organization, and I'm helping startups to do a greater good.
Good for you. Good for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can continue. Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine. You can call me Kate, Ekaterina. I'm from Russia. Now I live in here in Los Angeles almost 4 years. I had experience in organization. I work in organization almost 10 years, like an analytic. And after that, I came to psychology, and I've had a lot of education from psychology. First of all, I'm cognitive behavior therapist and a member of Cognitive Behavior Therapist of Russia. I neuro-linguistic therapist too, like you. I love NLP. I love understanding how can I see another person and realized when he lied to me, like on my face. It's really interesting. And when I learned psychology, it was shocked when I first read some story about transaction analysis. I have this video because I ran into my bedroom and record me on in the mural. Wow, I realized I gonna be transaction analytic and I go to switch games and help people realize that what should they do. So it was extremely surprised me. And after that, I start working mostly the cognitive behavior therapist, and I have my own practice over 7 years. I work individual, I work with group, also I have education as a supervisor. And here in America, it was my challenge that again, I need to improve my knowledges. I need some certificate from USA. And I met Victoria Kotova, and she introduced me for NATAA, so great organization. And now I am a coordinator of education committee. And I'm so proud to be here because this meeting is actually one part of my dream. Because my dream was being in good professional, talking about interesting things, philosophy, psychology, and I'm so proud be here and listening you and talking to all of you. So thank you so much.
That's great.
Yes, that's me.
Yes, my book, Say It Straight, is in Russian. Yeah. Okay, super. Thank you so much. Now, by the way, what
Okay,
you can
from light
let me-
light to darkness.
let me just say one thing. If you wait to speak, for example, and you wait and you wait, I wonder in life, do you wait to be called on or do you initiate?
Initiate.
Questions
That's
we
what I
can-
want to do right now.
Okay, all right. Well, there was a lady that was on already. Who was that?
Who is there?
It was me.
Okay, ladies first.
Okay.
Perfect. Big pleasure. Hello, everyone. That's fantastic idea to get communication here with all of you. And originally, right now, I'm head of operation in a Swiss company. I'm from Ukraine, moved to Germany 4 years ago, starting from the war. But in general, it wasn't my plan to move to Germany, but it is how it is. So right now we develop in startup. We already have 120 team members on our board. And we continue moving to various of field because our main direction is travel industry. And basically we right now move with World Cup in US because it will start within a few days. In Canada, Mexico, and USA. So the main goal right now to find interesting connection. And here for our communication, it's important to keep in mind that, Abe, as you mentioned, about to keep balance between our professional side and feel like kids. So probably for me, most important part, it's continue feeling that you still like you could be a baby even if you're so serious communicator and has so strong experience with various of businesses and business connections.
Yeah, and I think the child part of us in business has a lot to do with its success. Not just in jokes, it's being a kid, it's expressing your emotions. Good to see you. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, right. You're
You know
totally right.
something, I was a little unhappy with the way you handled that, though. I know you can do better. I mean, you know, versus I was a little unhappy with how you handled that. I know you can. The emotion's a great part of it. How often
Yeah.
you walk into a room and you see somebody you know, but you don't even recognize them? I mean, that's a discount, and it's a negative stroke for what you do. What did I touch that I shouldn't have touched?
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Big pleasure. Okay, let's move forward.
You got the video?
I got it now.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Now you technically advanced.
Thank you very much. I got a promotion.
All right, I'm not the professional here. I heard the world of transactional analysis probably like 2.5 years ago in my life. I'm almost 60, so I'm whole my life I didn't know it exists. The strokes is strokes for me different than it's strokes for transactional analysis actually. So that surprised me how that transactional analysis helps people in life. So in my situation, in a business conversation on business deals, sometimes I have to ask Victoria, what is going on? How I am playing here? I am a child. Who I am? I am adult, or what I'm doing here? What is my role here? I'm kind of confused, and she's so kind to explain me all these transactions between. So I started learning a little bit, and after I start reading, not actually, I'm using your book. I'm driving and listening your book all the time.
Oh, great.
So be honest with you, first it was a little bit confusing because I didn't see the actual transactions between some groups of people. And Victoria told me, hey, you know what? You have to read the actual book to see the transactions between. And in the middle of the book, I start playing your book in my life, in my situation of life, in my situation of business, in my situation of relationship, in my situation of any daily routine situations, and it helps. It's a lot of examples. You put it on your book, which is explained to regular people, not professionals. I mean, it's a whole group of professionals here. I'm amateur and. It's very hard to, be in this kind of group. I'm not discounting myself right now. I'm just putting as a truth information. So, but your book is bring me up in the society of psychology, transactional analysis, psychiatry people. And then I realized I can learn more and more and be in the same page with everybody else in this group. That's what it is.
Well, that's very nice. And you're making terrific progress if you're already getting that far. That's great.
Thank you.
Who's talking to each other now?
You and me,
Yeah, but what ego states?
adult to adult.
Yes, that's correct. And you answered from adult. And
Exactly.
that's a good job. Who was I?
You are. You are my hero. Don't put it that way. Don't put it in another transactional analysis. You are adult from adult ego state, and I'm adult too. So we're responsible for answer each other.
That's true. What I'm saying to you is when you're an adult, you're logical, reasonable, rational.
Exactly.
It's a wonderful place to be, and most people are there a lot of the time.
That's what I try to tell you.
Yeah, and a little while ago you switched to parent. You said, don't do that, do this, and we switch all the time.
Exactly.
I'm really excited that you're in the group. What state is that? I'm excited that you're in the group. Who is that?
You are you're a parent.
Well, but I say parent would say
No,
you're
he's not a
doing
child. I'm not gonna put him as a child. He's a parent who is excited. Let's put it this way.
Well, let's put it this way. You're thinking of a parent as a man or a woman that's grown up and have children. That's how you're thinking of parent. The way I think of parent, it's somebody that looks and sounds like a parent talking to a child, not a dumb child, not a rebellious child, could be any of those, could be the natural child. So a lot of people, when they first learn transactional analysis, see a parent as somebody that has kids and so on. Well, how could that parent be a child? Well, we're not talking about a person as being a child. We're talking about part of your personality. And everybody is child sometimes. Like, I'm really happy that you're in this group.
I'm the child most of the time.
Are you?
Yes.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
100%. You can ask Victoria. She know me better.
Okay, Victoria, you know her better. You know him better. Is he a child most of the time?
Yes, he actually, yes, it's true. And if to look deeper, he's like a little professor, most of the
Oh,
time.
clever. Good, good. And you're a child now with your laughter. That's good. Thank you. Okay, who's next?
I mean, I would like to move forward, and because the Anatoly, he's my fiance, and I think it was the biggest challenge in my life, I think, to communicate with this man. Because it's
That's a wonderful compliment. Thank you very much.
it's a kind of very good ulterior transaction, yeah. So so most of my life, I'm a reader. I like to read books since I remember me, and I consider myself a pretty educated person. And as educated, I start to work very early, and I start to work in the big companies as a HR. I hire people when I was 18 because that time I studied at university. So every time I was surrounded by really like smart people and people or my clients. So clients, they're not they're not random people from street that you can catch and say, oh, do you know what is transactional analysis? Or do you want to improve your communications? They already clients who come to, especially organizational psychologists, I'm organizational psychologist, and people who come to organizational psychologists, they already want some improvement. They already, most of them, not all, but most of them, they want something better. They already read some books. They already come prepared. So I didn't have this challenge in my life to prove simple things that I think everybody know around. And when sometimes I meet some people and they like, oh, you're a psychologist. Okay, look, what you know more than me? I'm a psychologist. Especially those people like they work as a barman You know, when you go to the bar, you have a drink, and barman asks you, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm a psychologist." So it's a true story. So I remember he disappeared. He came and said, "It's me, psychologist. Do you know?" I'm like, I
How many
don't.
people
Yeah. So
every
like,
day?
so the Uber drivers and like taxi drivers and barmans, they're the best psychologists. So like I don't pretend. So and most of the time, like I already talk to people who love psychology, who love trainings, who read those books. And when I met Anatoly, it was in a one, I think at a birthday party. And somehow we start to talk, and then we start to see each other, but very very rare because I was like more like career orientated. I was not in relationships. And with Anatoly, he said like, oh, you know, so let me just do some business with you. And I'm like, oh, here we are. Let's do some business together. And then we start to talk more. And then I realized that Anatoly, he never attended any training in his life. Like he never ever crossed any psychology, I don't know, books or psychologists. And for me, why it was challenge, because it was just like, how can I explain about transactional analysis for person? And he asked me, I remember, how much money you make? I'm like, oops. And he say like, you know, I'm a developer. I run millions of dollars, and you know, and you run like few thousands per month. So, and it's actually, what can I say to that? You know, and it's really challenge that maybe Abe, I would like to discuss with you today as well, because it's a really challenge for psychologists and for coaches and for transactional analysis practitioners, that today when we talk to people and when we want to you know, to introduce to this theory, they just, you know, many times we have this like okay, and how it's going to improve our life, like now, financially and whatever. And it's difficult to explain. And actually, what I to want to say a few words more. And with Anatoly, it came to my mind like, Victoria, stop to be too theoretical. Just make this practical. How can you turn that? Like, not to try to prove to people around that transactional analysis is good. Just give them satisfaction and give them result what they want. And I'm very thankful that I met this person, because now finally I can combine those. I can combine this money making and transactional analysis, and not just teaching theory. I make this in a practical way using actually AI. So it's really magnificent. Sometimes we meet people and we don't try to argue, we don't try to prove, we just start making and using. And actually the Ape going to have the workshop December 5, when we're gonna talk about transforming of transactional analysis from before to now. And it's very interesting discussion as well, to Abe to also to know your way of transformation, like transactional analysis in 70 and transactional analysis in 2000, you know, and you know, because you came to in a time when transactional analysis was so popular, everybody talk about. And now people, they actually, if you talk someone from the young generation, they don't know about transactional analysis. So it's interesting, you know, to talk how we can, you know, to introduce people one more time to this brilliant method. So there's so many questions we have for you, and we would like to hear your opinion and thoughts about that.
Sure. And you know, what I'm aware of is that people's success, of course, you define success in your own way. Too many people say I'm successful because I make a lot of money. Well, if that's your goal, then you're successful. If it's your goal to help people and you're doing that, then you're successful. If it's your goal to raise your kids so that they're happy, reasonable kinds of people, you're successful if you do that. So success is based upon what your goal is. So he says he's very successful because he owns that. Oh, really? Does he do pretty well with people? Yeah, well, then maybe he's doing really well. So it can be used in many ways, and transactional analysis is just a wonderful way. I got my master's in social work, and I went to a 101 workshop, and I felt like I learned more in the 2 days in the 101 than I learned in 2 years of graduate school.
Yeah.
Because it's practical, it's down to earth, it's about life. And Anatol was talking, is it Anatoly?
Yeah,
And
perfect pronunciation.
thank you. Anatoly was talking about the importance of giving examples. You can teach a theory, but I usually don't understand until people give me examples or they tell me a story about it. Then I understand it. And that's really important for all of you, with whomever you're working with. If you want to explain something, just give a simple example or two, and it's very helpful. Like a simple over-adaptation. Over-adaptation, well, what does that mean? You modify your behavior based upon mind reading or assumption. Well, what does that mean? So I'll tell you a story. I'm doing a group of coal miners and their bosses in Colorado years and years ago, 75 people in the group. And it was a 2-hour lecture. And I was talking about over-adaptation. And I said, well, over-adaptation, like many people won't speak in front of other people because they worry about what those other people are going to think. Or people won't present their own point of view because what are you going to do, laugh at me? They picture somebody laughing at them. Or they remember the mean thing that guy said to them when they spoke up the last time, that guy. And then they over-adapt. They don't they want to adapt properly. So when you're talking to people and you're making decisions based upon mind reading, it often doesn't work very well. But if you have examples and stories about it, then it makes a lot of sense. So over-adaptation, for example, some of you might not want to volunteer to speak. Why? Well, maybe you don't speak English as well as you'd like, or maybe you think you're not as smart as somebody else, and they will look down on you. Do you have information that tells you that's true with this group? Well, then you're over-adapting. You're not adapting, you're over-adapting, because that you don't know. You're doing it based on mind reading, which none of us do very well. Okay, that's an example and a story. So somebody else, who's up?
May I continue?
Please.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Belgrade, Serbia, Central Europe.
Serbia?
Belgrade. Yes. And my basic occupation is professor of Serbian language and literature, and I have master degree in project management and HR management.
Wow.
So nice. I worked for 17 years with pupils and foreigner students who learn Serbian language. That was my side hustle because I spent whole my career till now in some corporations. And today I celebrated a very important milestone for my development. I finished Academy for Organizational Transactional Analysis here in Serbia. And now I'm going to prepare myself for CTA in ITA. Thank you, Victoria. I came to this group through a group which Victoria organized for non-English native speakers. And that is how I became a member of NATAA. And when Victoria posted that these workshops will be organized, first I was like, it is not possible. How it is possible? Is it that person? Should I check one more time? So I was really, really surprised. And I feel grateful and to be with all of you today and through these workshops in future for, I think, 6 months. And I would like to hear more of you, Abe, and for all other people. I'm in that phase that I'm head of HR in one regional company, but I'm parallel with that, I'm developing my own, let's say, consultancy agency, and hopefully I will be consultant without any other company as employee in company, maybe in year or 2 years. We'll see. So that is about me and about some plans which I have for myself for future.
Very good. Thank you for that. Our big basketball star in Denver, do you know who that is?
Of course, he is from my part of Serbia, Nikola Jokic. Yes, I'm former basketball player as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Professionally or?
No, I'm not so famous.
Okay. Now that's nice. Great. Thank you very much.
Anna, thank you so much. Thank you for your strokes. It's really pleasant to hear. And today, actually, Anna prepared, yes, if I'm right, the case study. So after all introduced,
Yes.
Anna have some case study that she want to present with you, Abe.
That's great. Who's next?
Yeah, my name is Ayjan. Originally, I'm also from Kazakhstan. For the last 4 years, I'm living in San Francisco Bay Area and Silicon Valley. It's actually my dream from all my 16, 17 years. I was dreaming to live and being a part of this society next to Stanford. And finally, I did it. And at the age of 47, I moved from Kazakhstan to Silicon Valley. And I love my life now. I really enjoy being here with my kids. I have 4 kids and 1 granddaughter. She is already 6 years old. Yeah. And here in America, I'm with my twin boys, my 14 years old boys. They are my wings, as I'm joking, because sometimes during immigration, you're going through different stages, especially, for example, in Kazakhstan. I was rather popular. I was rather even famous among some circles. Part of my life, I was in financial advisory services. I was working in American company in big corporations like Ernst & Young, and I was working as a business development manager for Caspian region based in Dubai. But I burned out, literally burned out. I didn't know about transactional analysis that time, unfortunately. That's why I was trying to be working hard, be perfect, hurry up, all these drivers I think I have. So I burned out. I was literally almost dead. And I was 33 years old. And I felt like all my life, like I'm done. And I went to the first coach in my life, and something happened with me within this 1 hour only talking with her. And I said, oh, wow, she has a very brilliant work. I want to be like she. And it was my journey 16 years ago. I started being a psychologist. I have master's degree in psychology in Kazakhstan. I have master's degree in coaching, like master coach in ICU, International Coach Union. It's more for Europe. I did it in Moscow and in Minsk in Belarus. And what else? Yeah, like I wrote a book, published 6 years ago, a book about femininity and how modern ladies, how to balance life and career and our inner masculinity and our inner femininity. It's part of my work with ladies. Still, I'm working with this. What else? And I created a game, transformational game. And now I'm doing, together with Victoria, a transformational game based on transactional analysis principles. So I love to be a part of NATAA because here in America, it becomes my family. It becomes my new identity here and gives me chance to be legally working with people. Because once you move to America, all your credentials very difficult to prove and validate. So to work officially with people and being a part of NATAA is a big deal for me. So I'm happy to be here. I'm, of course, very honored to be here with you. Of course, I know your name only from books and our materials in our psychology courses. Yeah,
Thank
thank you very much.
Well, you've had a very interesting life. Very interesting. Thank
I
you.
may be the oldest here. I'm 51. That's why too much talk.
How old am I?
You are 90, yes?
90. I'm 90. That's pretty old.
Yeah, you're giving us a big kind of like hope and motivation.
Sure. At my age, I don't even buy a green banana.
Why green banana?
You get
Because
that?
he doesn't know.
The reason I don't buy green bananas, I don't know if I'll be here when it gets ripe. About me, yeah, I like people to come close, but not too
Yeah.
close.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I found out about me that I'm an initiator. I'm like Victoria. I'm an initiator. I make things happen.
Thank you.
When I meet people, I introduce myself. I'll do something that's humorous or some other way, be interested in them.